Hey, beautiful. I see you. Hello and welcome to Shero Coffee and Conversation. This is your go-to channel for meaningful topics and getting positive mindset ideas for better living. I'm your host, Melissa. I am a proud retired Army veteran and founder of the Shero Coffee Club, where our mission is to keep the world caffeinated and women veterans celebrated. And I thank you for joining me today. And I know you are armed with your own cup of coffee. And if you are not, I want you to click that QR code or go to sherocoffee.com. All right. I do hope that you have had an amazing week. Happy Sunday. And welcome to July. Yes, I haven't seen you since June. What have you been up to? July is really a month to be outside. We outside, y'all. We are outside. There are festivals. Yesterday, Andre and I went from festival to festival, and we just had such a great time attending those festivals. So you've got festivals, the beach is wide open, the grills are all hot, and there are so many outdoor activities going on. So, what are your plans for July? What are your plans for July? Hmm? Vacation, staycation, a getaway out of the country. Actually, a getaway out of the country sounds pretty good. That does sound pretty good. Or are you committed to ensuring that the kids have an incredible summer this year? So what's going on for you? For me personally, July is a month of release and renewal. Now, last month I said that June was the month of endless opportunity and possibilities because it was my birthday month. July is a month of release and renewal. And it's just really that's my time to just take a deep dive into my wheelhouse and assess. So I check in with myself and I see where I am spiritually, where I am with my diet and exercises, where I am with my personal finances, where I am in business. What about my friends and family? What about my marriage? And so I take all of that and then I compare that with my vision board. The vision board, yes, that I made at the beginning of the year. And then I rate everything on a scale of 1 to 10 in relation to what I said I want to accomplish. Where am I with that? Some things might be a zero, some things might be a 9 or 10. But I use that to compare because we're kind of like 5 months out. But this is one thing I know for sure is that sometimes things change. Sometimes you change. Sometimes your vision changes. So I really take a look at all of that. And after I look at that, I make the necessary shifts and adjustments if need be. And then I decide, okay, what is the highest, best, and use of my time to improve on those areas? So after that, I pray and then I let go of what is no longer serving me. And that's big. It's sometimes it's hard to let go of things, especially if you're used to them. But yes, that's what I do. And this helps me to move forward. And really that's it. So I invite you to challenge yourself. Take a look at your own life wheel. Those are the areas that I told you about, or whatever you decide will be inside your life wheel. And then decide where you want to be at the end of the year, and then set or readjust your goals and get to work. That's all you got to do. Set and readjust your goals, get really intentional about that, and then get to work because we have 178 days before we move into 2025. God willing. 178 days before we are saying, "Hey, yeah." And that is just around the corner. And the thing about it, with 178 days, you can make so many things happen between now and then. So take this challenge, get serious, sit down, Create a plan for yourself. And I mean, it doesn't have to be elaborate or hard or anything like that, but just see where you are versus where you want to be. That's all I'm asking. And give yourself these 178 days to become a better you, starting right now. Can you do that? No, it's not. Can you do that? I know you can do that. Will you do that is the question. But I'm just talking. But yes, yes. In the meantime, we're going to get down to some coffee facts. Let's get into it. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. There is money in coffee. I'm so grateful and blessed to be in this business and watch it grow and just being starting to be connected with people who are really helping me create that path for myself. My life is exciting. I'm excited about everything that I'm doing. But there is money in coffee. Yes. Now we see a lot of coffee brands. But did you know that there are only four companies responsible for 50% of the coffee sold in the United States? Half the coffee that's sold in the United States only there are only four companies that are responsible for 50% of the coffee sold. And the other half is everyone else, including the Shero Coffee Club. Yep. So at number one, we've got Nestle, which has a brand, if you've heard of Nescafe or Nespresso. Yep. They have a market cap of $313 billion. So the market cap includes everything, the value of the entire company. So they may be a house of brands um under there, but this is their market cap, 313 billion. We have Starbucks. Need I say more? Starbucks, the name, it speaks for itself. We all know that about the coffee shops, and they have a huge retail market, and they have a market cap of $87 billion. It's money in coffee, y'all. Yes. Dr. Pepper, which is a beverage company. Have you ever heard of that? I know you heard of the K cups. I know you heard of the Keurig equipment, the Keurig coffee makers and everything like that. So I know you've heard of that. But they have brands like also including the Green Mountain coffee. That's pretty decent coffee. I kind of like the Green Mountain coffee. They have that, and then they also have a market cap of $49 billion. And then you have JM Smucker. Now, JM Smucker has Cafe Bustelo, it has Folgers, and it has Dunkin' Donuts. So it's not the Dunkin' Donuts stores, but it's the retail coffee that you see in the grocery store. That is the JM Smucker's brand. They have a manufacturing and distribution agreement to sell the Dunkin' Donut coffee, and their company has a market cap of $16 billion. So, like I said, there's money in coffee. So when I was doing the study of all of those four brands, I feel like I went too wide. So I wanted to kind of narrow in on and I chose just one company to narrow in on, and that's JM Smucker. Um so JM Smucker has the Folgers and the Dunkin' Donuts brand, right? They have a house of brands, and I do have the house of brands that I will show you right here. They have a house of brands. If you have you ever seen any of those brands in your life? So they've got peanut butter, Wortman's cookies, Milk Bone. They've got the Smuckers, but in coffee sales, because remember I was talking to you about coffee sales. Coffee sales alone, $1.5 billion. Yes, $1.5 billion in retail coffee sales alone. They don't own the Dunkin' Donut stores. They only sell the coffee, the coffee, the coffee. So I can imagine just what Dunkin' Donuts is making. I won't go there. Dunkin' Donuts is owned by Inspire Brands. Dunkin' Donuts is owned by Inspire Brands, but yes, JM Smucker House of Brands coffee sales alone $1.5 billion. So JM Smucker stands for Jerome Montgomery Smucker. Jerome Montgomery Smucker, and he was a farmer out of Orville, Ohio. Hey, sounds like we got to look at a map. So that's another challenge. Find out where Orville, Ohio is. So he started the company and he started off making like apple butter, jams, and other little products. And that company, J.M. Smucker, has evolved into a $16 billion industry. So they have three major business units. They have consumer foods, coffee, and pet food. So they have three business units, and they have a portfolio with over 40 brands. You talk about hashtag goals. Yes, why not? Because the people that came before me, the people that came before you, show you what's possible. So you take the possible and you create more out of what you already know is possible. And J.M. Smucker is definitely an example for my branded house, the Shero Coffee Club, which is why I'm truly inspired. And that is our topic for today. Are the people in your life, dead or alive, who inspire you to keep going in your career or business or just in life? Now, you guys know that I've been reading, and I'm just about done. I'll be finished with it this week. I've been reading Patrick Bet David's book, Your Five Next Moves. Your Five Next Moves. And one of the things Patrick Bet David, I'm going to put the screen up here. One of the things Patrick Bet David talks about is use your heroes and visuals to remind yourself of who you want to be. I'll repeat that again. Use your heroes or sheroes and visuals to remind yourself of who you want to be. And I'm going to show you in David's office, he has a painting or a picture, and that picture is of his heroes. And so he calls this, his counsel when he chats with them when he needs to discuss things. And he calls this is Patrick Bet David's dead mentors. So I'm going to tell you everyone on the picture from left to right. So you'll see a guy with white hair. So that is, hold on, I've got to look in the book because he really lays it out in the book who they are. If I could find it. I thought I had it. Okay. So you've got from left to right, that's Albert Einstein. That's the first one with the white hair. Next to him is John F. Kennedy. And then you have Abraham Lincoln. And then you have Tupac Shakur. Then you have Patrick Bet David actually standing up. And sitting in front of him is Mohammad Reza Pahlavi. He was a Shah of Iran from 1941 to 1979. And then standing next to Patrick Bet David is Ayrton Senna. So he was a Formula One driver, and Bet David always talks about him, absolutely loves him. In fact, he named his daughter Senna after the race car driver. And then in the next chair, we have, let me see. Oh, that's Milton Friedman. And then you have Martin Luther King. And then he has an empty chair because he's going to place someone in that chair. Now, if you look behind, you see two statues or two bust pictures. That is, let me see. Let me see. Those are Marcus Aurelius and Aristotle. Marcus Aurelius to your left, and then Aristotle to your right. And I absolutely love Aristotle. He has a quote that absolutely focus on, and I live by, and that is, "We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act, but a habit." And it speaks to my life. It speaks to me to tell me every day, what are you doing? What are you doing? And so, and I was inspired by this part of the book. I was inspired so much to create my own, because he does encourage you to create your own mentors. Who are your mentors? So this is a picture I keep in my bathroom every day. And I want you to go out and create your own picture of mentors. Now, my mentors that with flesh on the bone that I see every day, I'm not going to name them. I'm going to name people that you probably already know. So I call this my council of business illumination. And this is my counsel. So you see me smack dab in the middle. But to my left, that is Mr. David Goggins. He is a military veteran, and I absolutely love him for his diet and fitness regimen. I love him because his transformation, his mindset, and his discipline is just, you cannot compare. So David Goggins is part of my council. Then I have right underneath David Goggins, Miss Oprah Winfrey. So Oprah Winfrey had a show. A lot of kids don't know who Oprah Winfrey is, surprisingly enough. They just don't know who she is now. But in her day, in her heyday, when she was, when everyone, you could, this was a worldwide name, and it still is a worldwide name. But Oprah Winfrey had a television show that was filled with inspiration. She was black like me, so I had a reflection of someone on television just killing the game. So Oprah is my inspiration for influence because she was very influential. And then right to the side of her, to the left of her, you'll see Jeff Bezos. I mean, he is a story about being a visionary and e-commerce. He has mastered the game of e-commerce. What started off as books online has created this giant trillion-dollar company. I think they're worth like $2 trillion or something like that. And so, of course, to my right, you see Patrick Bet David, his story, who is also a military veteran. His story is just amazing. His journey has been amazing. He gives great business advice online, and I just love his energy and definitely steps to help you improve your business operation and you as a business owner. And then at the bottom, we have Ms. Fawn Weaver. Have you heard of Uncle Nearest? Well, Fawn Weaver is just a she is just a Shero. She is a dynamo. She is just killing the game. So she went out to write a book about Uncle Nearest, who helped Jack Daniels to start the whiskey business for Jack Daniels. I guess a whiskey master, maybe that might not be the right term. But she went to write a book and wound up buying the land, but and creating a whiskey brand called Uncle Nearest, which we went to her book signing VIP last weekend in Shelbyville, Tennessee, and it was amazing. I got to take pictures, got to see her unfiltered. You could ask any question as long as it was a question you couldn't Google. I mean, she is killing the game. She is killing the game, not just in the country, but all over the world. Uncle Nearest. So if you drink whiskey, make sure you get Uncle Nearest. So Fawn Weaver is my mentor and my inspiration for distribution. She knows and understands the game of distribution. And in the coffee business where my brand is housed, I look to these people as my council of business illuminaries. And that is the question for you. Who do you look to? Not flesh on the bone that you see every day, but people that really inspire you, and it could be someone with flesh on the bone. Don't let me say that you see every day. It could be in your picture, but create your own counsel. So any one of these people, you can look them up and kind of get a little bit about their story and add them to your own counsel. But dead or alive, who inspires you? And right now we really need inspiration. I mean, everything is crazy. Everything is crazy, but there's no need to fearmonger. It's just do better. You do better. And this is one of the ways that you can actually get inspired to do something great. Who knows what you're going to create by the end of the year? And I just hope that maybe you'll take what I'm saying to heart. Create your own counsel, dead or alive. Who inspires you? And that's really all I wanted to talk about today. So I thank you for your time, and I will see you next Sunday. And as always, be brilliant, be you, be blessed. I will see you next week. Have an amazing week. Bye bye.